Hi, it's the Bella De Vera Foundation, and I wanted to make another video about how to trust yourself to be around people. In my other video, I talked about boundaries, and sharing the good things about you. Um, for part of this, I want to talk about the ironic process theory and negative associations and mind conditioning. I did a video about that already, so I won't explain it again. But you need to get rid of the negative associations about other people and you, because we all do that, like, without trying to, um, have negative associations with things, I explained it in the other video. But you need to have your own way of, retraining your mind and of the negative associations you have. You need to do that however you feel like it, whatever works for you. But I gave sorry, an example of what I think really works with the ironic process theory. So you need to use that whenever you're doing this negative association thing, about yourself or other people. Um, use the ironic process theory, like I said in my other video, and then, you know, condition your mind to think differently. You'll have to watch that because I'm not going to explain in this video. But what I wanted to talk about in this video, though, about how to trust yourself to be around people, you have to, about the ironic process theory, you need to use that. Maybe, I mean, give it a try, see if it works. But about fear, about boundaries, about you know, all those kinds of things. Looking for the similarities between you and people, you and people from all groups on this planet. You need to get rid of labels and resistance. Um, and you have to know that we all have an astrology birth chart. We all have synastry with anyone we come in contact with, and a composite chart. The composite chart, if you don't know about astrology, then maybe you want to do a little bit of research to know what exactly I'm talking about. But the composite chart is the fate of the two people more than any other chart is. Um, or the Davidson chart also um, can be used in place of the composite chart. It's the same thing. Sometimes it explains the same thing in the same way or the same thing in a different way. Anyway, whenever you want to know the fate of you and another person, you need, that is the way to figure that out. The way is to use a composite chart. That that is how. And you can come to a professional astrologer like myself or another one that can, help you figure out your composite charts with people. And the spiritual perspective I'm putting on this, like I say in my other videos, um, like I want to do more videos about, you can't decide that you and anyone on this planet is different somehow. Once we start doing that, then we're gonna put up walls, Um, so watch my other videos about how to trust yourself and the mind conditioning with the ironic process theory and negative associations. Um, but first of all, we need to establish everyone has fears. Every person on this planet. And then you need to realize we all need people in our lives. Whenever you know, you want a friend or you want to be a friend to someone, you have to get that that's what we need. We need people. We can't go through life saying we don't need each other. It's healthy to say we need people. It's not codependent. It's not unhealthy. It's healthy to need people. We need people to survive. We could not survive alone. So we need to, whenever we're trying to belong with people and accept people or be accepted, we need to get that we all need people. We need more than one person in our lives. And you need to probably look at composite charts or get an astrologer to, like myself, to really help you understand what is going on with you and another person, because it's different from a synastry chart and so forth. So you need to get that you need people, and you must see that, look past the fact that you're attached to people, and see that people are attached to you. And in my how to trust yourself video, I talk about boundaries in that video a lot. So watch that video about boundaries. It's extremely helpful to know how to deal with boundaries. So about this subject we're talking about how to trust yourself around people. This is part 2. Like I said, the first step, acknowledge that we all have fear, and then acknowledge that we all need each other, and see that people are attached to you as much as you are to them. And 3, boundaries. Just skip the whole going through your mind about the subjects about all this. Boundaries. Watch my other video. Get that in your mind about what boundaries are and aren't, and leave it at that. Whatever I said about boundaries in the other video, just leave it at that and don't overthink it. Um, and like I was saying, well, the list of things I talked about before I started talking about the subject of how to trust yourself. Once you accept that you have boundaries and other people do, and just let them, take responsibility for their own boundaries, you know, you need to use the ironic process theory maybe to help you through this, process of how to trust yourself around people. Go through the list of what I'm talking about and get it established in your mind. If once you can accept the first thing, go on to the next thing and think about who you can accept it, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. If you can't accept the first thing, don't go on to the second thing. That's my throughout my videos, and especially my own yourself practice. I did in a video, Pluto video for Harry Styles' birth chart. I really put that in that video. I put a little bit of like a copyright trademark kind of a thing on that video because I created that from what I see, what I'm studying in people, and it's not like anything I've seen on the YouTube or anywhere. I don't know who all does such things, practices like that, but anything that I've seen is not exactly like that. So that's my own, I came up with that process by myself. So what I was saying is watch that video, especially too, um, about healing and stuff. But what I'm saying is start with number one, and then once you can do that, then go on to two, and then three, and then whatever, so on. Because if you try to do a practice with, steps to or whatever, and you can't get through number one, you're not going to get through number two or three or whatever. Or if you want to switch the numbers and the practices, however you see fit, if you can't do one and you think the number two is what you do after number one, you're not going to get through that if you can't get through number one. So you got to do that first of all. So you have to accept people have fears. Everyone has fears. You have to find the similarities about you and all the people you associate with. And more than that, you and every person in each group on this planet. It's not, no one group is different from another one. We all have the same similarities and fears and all that stuff. All the normal people things that there are about you is in everyone. To have fears and issues is in everyone. To have spiritual stuff is in everyone. Spiritual means to be a person, to be a, and give yourself unconditional love, which only can happen if you're accepting the everything about yourself to be a whole person, not just the good things about you. So how to trust yourself to be around people, you got to get through these steps. Or if you want to, like I said, change the steps or whatever to suit yourself, or if there's some way that helps you better do this, I'm just giving you what I study in people. But you have to use maybe the ironic process theory to do this, to condition your mind to see the similarities in you and other people, and uh needing to accept that people are attached to you as much as you are to them. Go through the video a few times and apply the ironic process theory where it needs to be applied, or don't where it doesn't need to be. But you can use that theory because it's what can get things really stuck in your mind, and condition your mind, your way of thinking, better than just saying, okay, I'm gonna just force myself to, think differently now. That doesn't work as well, and it pisses people off when people say you have to force yourself. But the ironic process theory, it's it's a little bit of a psychology thing where it actually can make your mind think differently. If you apply that to your ways of thinking about these things, it can condition your mind better that way if you make it a practice. But you have to make it a practice though. Um, and so if you can establish these things and, you know, accept them about people, that can help you trust yourself to be around people. Thing is, the main thing I actually wanted to really explain is video is about resistance and getting rid of labels. People love to have power struggles with each other and label each other, and that automatically puts up walls to where we can't be friends with each other. You need to stop labeling people. Stop needing fame so much that you label people, every person you're around, because that is not unconditional love. That is not, which I've made a video about, that is not resistance. Labeling people will keep that resistance way up there high. And if you keep, you have to figure out, first of all, what you're resisting about you and someone else that's making you label them. And you need to get to the root of it. And resistance is the root of it. But why you're having the resistance is the root of it even more. Doing the label thing is after, is because of the resistance. You need to get to the root of the problem of why you're resisting certain people. And then quit being a damn asshole and labeling people and putting up that wall, that label, the label is the wall between you and the other person. It's what's making you not be able to be friends with them. So quit using excuses, because once you do that, you're on your way to getting rid of the resistance. But you need to really figure out why, like I said, you're being an asshole to someone and wanting to label them instead of letting them be equal with you and having similarities with them. We all can find, usually, I'm sorry if my phone is shaking, my hand's going numb, I have carpal tunnel. I'm trying to get it positioned where I'm not doing that, but, so, sorry, just a second here. Like I bluntly just said, you need to figure out why you're being the damn asshole and stop it, first of all. Figure out what you're resisting and figure out how not to, which I will tell you how to, I'm sorry, get rid of resistance in a minute, but it's simple. It's like the simplest thing. Quit being a damn asshole and labeling people. And if you need to use the ironic process theory to go through that little practice, do it for that too. Because I guarantee you the ironic process theory can work for anything. If you can figure out how to do that little practice, But like I said, you have to get to the root of problems. You need to stop being a fucking asshole and quit labeling people, because it's the most pathetic, biggest wall there is between people. It's all on social media. And I'm not saying I've never done this. I'm not saying that I have any perfect bone in my body, because I do not. I do not profess to be such a person. But you need to figure out how to own yourself, how to own your asshole crap, and accept it. Give yourself unconditional love about it. Accept it about yourself. Then you can heal it. Because if you can't accept that you're doing that, you won't be able to heal it. So you have to do that first of all, which is in my videos. The ones titled what I've already just said in this video. But as for the resistance part of it, if you have resistance to unconditional love, it's because you don't think that it's going to happen. You don't think you can have that. So you need to train your mind in thinking that you can have that, which is beliefs. Find the evidence of why you can have that, and watch my videos. Um, uh, I did some videos about Jupiter. JU in astrology is what Jupiter is for Harry Styles. So watch those videos too. The last 3 videos I did, 2 Jupiter videos and Pluto. This closest to this date of this video. Watch those, because I'm not going to make another video on what's in those already, because it can be for the public also. Because even though it's for his birth chart, Jupiter is in everyone's birth chart, not just one person's. So it's a little bit of a general video also, plus what is in his birth chart. So watch those videos, and anything where the title has beliefs or Jupiter or anything, all of what you need to know about beliefs is in those videos, those few videos. Because I try to get to the basic root of things, to help you figure out how to, you know, change your beliefs. That's what I talked about in the videos about having good beliefs, having healthy beliefs, not good, but healthy, to where you can give yourself unconditional love. You need to figure out what the resistance is that you have and why you have it. Resistance to having unconditional love from someone, like I said, is because you don't think you can have it. For some reason, you don't think it's going to happen. Because the root of that, which is because people in your life that should have given you unconditional love didn't. So, to heal that, you can watch the Pluto video that I did. It's extensive. It's not just 1 minute. It's more than an hour. It's very explained of, how to go through a process of healing yourself with unconditional love. So the resistance is the main thing in this video that I wanted to talk about, plus the ironic process theory that I didn't mention in the other videos. Well, I did mention the ironic process theory, but the resistance I didn't. So, to more on resistance, though, if you need a little bit of a meditation, you can get in water and train your mind to go with the flow of the water, or something like that, where in a pool and you naturally do that, or any kind of water. If you have ever been in water at all, you know what I'm talking about. If you actually just think for a minute about what it's like, you can go with the flow of that. And then or the wind, you know, something where, it takes you where it wants to go. And then when the wind goes back the other way, then you do, or, a swing with the wind, obviously. You know, if you try to go against the swing, or, whatever it is, you have resistance then. So practice not having resistance like that in your body, but do it in your mind then. But you have to train yourself to think you can have unconditional love from people, and you need to find the evidence. That's Pluto or Jupiter, beliefs. Find the good evidence of why you can have unconditional love, or whatever it is that you want. And for resistance, though, you can just think about a law of attraction starts with your mind, your thoughts. If you can train yourself to think, I do deserve that. I do want that. I want to go, in that kind of a thinking that way, that that's what I want, that's what I deserve, that's what I want to try to have, do things that make you have whatever it is that you want. You have to train your mind a little bit, but instead of just forcing yourself, use the ironic process theory to do that, because I think that can help more than just trying to force yourself to think differently. But once you have the thought, I can have that, the universe sets you up to where you're getting opportunities to have whatever it is that you want. If you start thinking that way, then your vibration, your frequency can, raise or get higher, whatever. And law of attraction keeps happening that way. But if you are thinking negatively, then that's what's going to happen more. So, but use the ironic process theory to train your mind to um but apply the resistance, what I already said about it, why you have resistance to something. Apply that to anything that you're having resistance about. Figure out what it is you're resisting, and then figure out why you're resisting it. Because you think you can't have something, because you think you're going to lose something, because you think whatever it is that you think. Figure out the root of the whatever, why you're thinking that way, and figure out how to not have resistance to it. Um, like what I said with the ironic process theory. And if you want to leave comments or questions or suggestions or whatever about anything in this video, then feel free. Um, but that's basically what I wanted to say. Add to my how to trust yourself to be around people. It's more than just about boundaries. You have to get rid of your resistance, like I said, and, uh, you know, get to the root of things, not just, stay on the surface level where you're not actually dealing with things. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be making